Hey folks, welcome back to My Kitten Reads. I'm Eleanor and this is my TBR video for the Dewey's Reverse Readathon, which is tomorrow morning for me. So this is the one where I think in America it starts about 8 p.m. on the Friday night, but for me it starts I think at about 10 a.m. On Saturday morning, which means I don't need a day off on Monday because I'll be finished by 10 on Sunday morning. And so I have the whole rest of the day to get over it. Also, I'll be sleeping towards the end of the readathon rather than at the beginning of the readathon. So, all worked out better for me. As you can see, I have a very large TBR because I have no idea what I'm going to be in the mood to read. So, I've given myself plenty of options. So, first, digitally, I will definitely do some audiobook reading tomorrow at the very least, because I do have some errands that I need to run tomorrow morning. So I will probably read via audio while I'm doing those. I am currently quarter of the way through the Calculating Stars by Mary Robinette Kowal, and today I got about 5% of the way through Emma by Jane Austen, read by Juliet Stevenson. Which, you know, my brain just wasn't going to cope at work with new content today, so I went with Emma because at least I know that really, really well. So I'll probably listen to at least one of those for a little bit tomorrow. In terms of my Kindle, there's nothing specific, but there's a few Patreon-only stories by Tansy Rayner Roberts that I haven't got to yet, that if I feel the need to give my brain a little bit of a humour break, I might pick up those. So we'll see what happens. But that's all that's sort of electronic on my list. But I have an awful lot of physical books. So yeah. So since Hugo reading is over, I decided to tackle some of the books on my currently reading list. Because with the audiobook that I started today, it's currently sitting at 20, and that's ridiculous. Most of them are physical. So I have a lot of those, but I also am aware that I do desperately need to make some progress on my goals for the year. So this lit pile also covers that. So the first thing on my book list is Jane Austen, Sense and Sensibility. So I've started rereading this. I haven't got very far yet, but I've been trying to, it hasn't really been working yet, but I've been trying to read it before bed. But this is on my list in case I want something that I just am comfortable with, because that may be the mood I'm in, to be honest. I don't know what mood I'm going to be in tomorrow. It's been a very difficult week at work. So that's Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. That's an option. I am also a decent chunk of the way through Meet Me at the Intersection, edited by Rebecca Lim and Amber Quamolina. So this is, you've heard me talk about before, it's a book of stories and poems and memoir from authors in Australia who meet the criteria of intersectionality. So, you know, they might be queer and disabled, they might be disabled and Indigenous, or they might be a Vietnamese refugee and also queer, or, you know, a number of combinations. So there's stories about intersectionality. So because it's YA and for young readers, that should be pretty easy for me to get through. And, you know, short stories are always useful to have on hand. So that's Meet Me at the Intersection by Rebecca Lim and Amber Quamolina. I am going back and putting poetry on the menu. I have this week started my studies in Australian literature for the semester, which is going to have a lot of poetry in it, so I need to get used to poetry reading again. And Maya Angelou's The Complete Poetry has been sitting on my currently reading shelf for quite a while. I only got sort of I think like 14, 15 pages in. So yeah, so that can also be a bit of a break from longer stuff for me, reading poems, which would mean reading aloud because I usually read poetry aloud. So that is The Complete Poetry of Maya Angelou. Also from my currently reading pile, and also from my goals of this year pile, we have Cranky Ladies of History, edited by Tansy Rayner Roberts and Tahani Wesley. So yeah, I'm only a little way into this as well. It's one of my 5-star rereads that I want to do this year, and it's short stories about cranky ladies of history. So I know I'm going to enjoy this. So that's some more short stories that I can get into if I want to. So that is Cranky Ladies of History. Still going on my currently reading pile. Trail of Lightning by Rebecca Roanhorse. I am 45% of the way through. I was reading it for the Hugo Awards. I gave it my top vote for the Hugo Awards. I'm really quite enjoying it. It's urban fantasy, but it's Native American urban fantasy. And yeah, it's pretty short and I'm a lot of the way through it, so I'm really hoping I'm going to be able to finish this one. So that would be really, really handy. That's Trail of Lightning by Rebecca Roanhorse. And the last book from my currently reading pile is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. So I was initially trying to read this for the Lodestar Award along with the Hugo Awards. I didn't get as far as I wanted, and I didn't read anything else from that award, so I didn't do any voting. It's a Fae YA. It was also one of my Outcrate books, which means it hits my Read Outcrate books challenge for the year. So yeah, The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I would like to make some progress on that. Then I've got a couple of things just from my regular TBR, in case none of those books really you know what I'm looking for. So I've got Wintersmith by Terry Pratchett, which is the third Tiffany Aching book, which I have not yet read. So this again is for if I don't feel like reading something brand new to me. It's a series that I've loved the first 2 books, so I'm very much likely going to be loving this book. And it's also not too long. So that's Wintersmith by Terry Pratchett. And, you know, another Outcrate book for my Read My Outcrate Books challenge is the Hazelwood novel by Melissa Albert. So this is not a very long one. I believe it's to do with fairy tales and a grandmother that I'm not sure if she's gone missing or she's died, and there's a house that's been inherited or something, but there's this mystery about the Hazelwood and fairy tales being more true than they realise, I think. That's what I remember from when I looked at the blurb ages ago. So that is also a possibility. And as always, I will have some graphic works to read, because what is a readathon without some graphic novels? So I have Volume 9 and Volume 10 of Ms. Marvel by G. Willow Wilson. I believe these are G. Willow Wilson's last 2 entries in the Ms. Marvel saga. So they've been sitting here for a while for me to read. So, I mean, Ms. Marvel itself is continuing without G. Willow Wilson, sorry. But yeah, I really, really, really need to get to these at some point. So those are options. I also have still left over from the April Readathon, Lumberjanes Volume 6, Sink or Swim. This is by Shannon Waters and Kat Leigh, and illustrated by Carrie Peach. So, you know, this is the next in the Lumberjanes, which are adorable and I love them. And that will also definitely hit my queer characters challenge for the year. I mean, for example, a couple of these books will definitely hit my authors of colour challenge as well. So, you know, again, trying to get some work done on these challenges that I've been avoiding more than I should. And I also have The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, Volume 5, Like I'm the Only Squirrel in the World, by Ryan North and Erica Henderson. Again, fun, Squirrel Girl, love it. And as always, you know, if I need more graphic novels, there's always Comixology. I still haven't picked up more of the X-Wing comics, the old X-Wing comics, so they're always there if I need them. But that is my TBR for the Dewey's Summer Reverse Readathon for the start of August 2009. Let me know if you've read any of those books and, you know, what you think I should read. And yeah, I will be, as usual, vlogging through the readathon, so there'll be something from me on Sunday as well. But until then, I will see you all really soon. Bye.